Microsoft's PowerPoint is a complete presentation graphics package. It provides everything needed to produce a professional-looking presentation. PowerPoint's tools are designed to be easy to use and learn. These include tools for word processing, making charts and graphs, sound recording, and presentation management. A PowerPoint presentation is based on a series of text and graphics screens called slides. Slides can also include sound, video, and animation. PowerPoint enables you to print handouts for your audience, as well as a presentation outline and speaker's notes. The entire presentation can be kept in a single file: slides, speaker's notes, and audience handouts, making it simple to transport a presentation from one computer to another. This program is about working with PowerPoint 2007. We'll cover an introduction to PowerPoint 2007, anatomy of a slide, adding images and graphics to your presentation, adding media and other content, linking and animating slides, managing the show, and developing a presentation. Starting PowerPoint 2007 is the same as for previous versions. That is, go down to the Start menu and browse through all programs, Microsoft Office, and select Microsoft PowerPoint 2007. If you've used this program before, you can choose the larger icon in the Start menu. The program starts as before, but the user interface is quite different. In the past, there was just a menu bar at the top of the document. This has been replaced with an area called the ribbon. The ribbon is a context-sensitive toolbar. It changes depending on what you are doing and the tools and options you might need. The ribbon contains many of the options that were accessed on previous versions by right-clicking the mouse. So to start with, let's take a closer look at the options available in the ribbon. You'll see that the ribbon has been divided into tabs, each dedicated to specific tools and functions. Going from left to right, we have Home, Insert, Design, Animations, Slideshow, Review, and View. The Home tab contains all the basic formatting and editing controls. It's where you can create new slides, alter the font size and colour, as well as text alignment and styles. It also contains the copy and paste tools and the drawing tools. The Insert tab is where you add tables, images and clip art, headers, footers, and other text elements, and audio-visual media. Design gives you control over the look of your slides. It features the new themes approach to design. The Animations tab is where you set up the transition from one slide to the next. You can also animate individual objects, such as images and text, as they appear on screen. Slideshow lets you manage which slides are presented and in what order. Here you can also adjust the timing of each slide and add narration. Review is where you can compare previous versions of your document or have more than one person working on the same document and be able to share changes. Review also has useful tools like spelling and grammar checks, a thesaurus, and comments. The View tab lets you choose from a number of different workspaces called presentation views, so you can work on the content of an individual slide or arrange the order of a number of slides. It also gives you access to page rulers and grid lines and gives you output options for your presentation. All of the file management commands like New, Print and Save are now located under the large Office button up in the top left-hand side of the screen. If we quickly run through these commands, we have New to open up a blank, untitled PowerPoint document, Open to open an existing PowerPoint presentation, Save to save your work to disk, and Save As to save another version of your work, either as another copy with a different name or in a different format. This is important in PowerPoint 2007 because PowerPoint now uses a different file format than previous versions of PowerPoint. The new format, called PPTX, is able to store features new to PowerPoint 2007 and is generally smaller than the previous format. If you're sending your work to someone using an older version of PowerPoint, you'll need to save as an older PowerPoint 97 to 2003 format. Alternatively, the person with the older version of PowerPoint can get a compatibility plugin, which is available from Microsoft. Continuing down the Office button menu, we have Print with the submenus Print, which lets you choose a printer, the number of copies, and things like page size and orientation. Quick Print, which sends the document directly to your default printer without making any changes. And Print Preview, which displays the page as it will look when it's printed before sending it to the printer. The Prepare menu has options for inspecting your presentation for hidden data, such as comments, that you may want to remove before you distribute your presentation publicly. It's also possible to encrypt your document and run a compatibility checker to check for features not supported by earlier versions of PowerPoint. The Office menu also houses the PowerPoint Options button, which lets us choose how the PowerPoint program and presentations are displayed. There is an area just to the right of the Office button called the Quick Access toolbar, which you can customize to contain the tools you use on a regular basis. The settings for the Quick Access toolbar are available under this pop-down menu. For example, you might want to add the Spelling and Grammar button. Just select Spelling and Grammar from the list and the button appears in the toolbar. It's just as easy to remove unwanted buttons. In this way, you can customize the toolbar to contain all the buttons you use most frequently. You can also set the toolbar to appear below the ribbon, although it uses less screen space when it is in the default position above the ribbon. A very useful feature which is within the Quick Access toolbar by default is the Undo and Redo option. Most will be familiar with the ability to undo an action. Almost all programs have this ability. But in PowerPoint 2007, we now get a history of the recent commands and actions, and we can use this list to step back and forth through a number of actions. If you're working on a small monitor and need to increase the amount of space used for your document, you can use the Quick Access toolbar pop-down to minimize the ribbon. With the ribbon minimized, only the tab headers are visible, giving you more space for your document. When you access tools within each tab, the ribbon appears, allowing you to make your selection before disappearing back into the toolbar. PowerPoint 2007 has several new features and improvements. These include the new toolbar called the ribbon, a new document format, PPTX, the Office button, which contains PowerPoint's file management functions, the Quick Access toolbar, which can be customized, and an Undo-Redo history. A PowerPoint presentation is similar to a slideshow. Each slide can contain text, graphics, and other content. A series of slides is linked together by animated transitions. When you open PowerPoint, it starts with a blank slide with placeholders for a title and a subtitle. There is a notes area at the bottom of the screen where you can add notes about the slide. Notes are not projected, but you can print them to use as a speaking script when you are presenting to an audience. Below the notes area, you can make the work area bigger or smaller with the Zoom slider, or click the Fit to Window button to make the slide as large as possible within the window. We'll start by adding a title. Just click in the placeholder and start typing. And a subtitle too. A new feature in PowerPoint 2007 is the Live Preview option, which means that changes to text are displayed before they are applied. To see how this works, we'll select the title and choose a different font. You'll notice that as the cursor moves over the available fonts, the text changes accordingly. With the text selected, you can also alter font size. Make it bold or underlined. Change its colour. Add a shadow. Change its spacing and alignment. All the things you can do in a word processor are available here too. The placeholders can be moved around the screen by moving the cursor over the dotted edge of the box, where it changes to a movement cursor. Click and drag the placeholder to its new position. Let's choose a background for the slide. Under the Design tab, there are a number of background styles which we can apply to the presentation. You can make a custom background by clicking Format Background. In this dialog box, you can choose to use a solid fill, a gradient, or you can select Picture or Texture Fill. You can use your own picture by clicking File and choosing an image. You can then adjust the image transparency if you want, or reposition the image with the offsets. It's also possible to alter the colour of the image and adjust its brightness and contrast. To add a slide to your presentation, click on New Slide under the Home tab. A new blank slide appears. You can navigate back to the previous slide using the thumbnails in the Slide tab to the left of screen. We've now explored the basic manual approach to building a slideshow. The drawbacks to this approach is that it can be quite time-consuming, and it can also make it difficult to create a consistent look from slide to slide. Fortunately, PowerPoint 2007 has another, more user-friendly approach to designing presentations. This design approach is based on a new feature called Themes. The Themes gallery is found in the Design tab. Each theme defines a family of colours, fonts, and graphic effects for your presentation. They include backgrounds and layouts for your slides. There are variations on each theme, since the different elements can be combined in several different ways. If, for example, you decide on a dark background, PowerPoint will automatically select a light colour for the fonts. Themes are entirely customizable. You can choose a group of fonts from one theme and a family of colours from another. Every aspect of each slide can still be edited manually. For example, we might want to change the font used in the title, so we drop back into the Home tab, select the title, and change it. You can even build your own theme and save it for later use. There is a growing number of custom themes available from the Microsoft Office website. Themes apply right across the Microsoft Office suite of applications, so you can match the look of your PowerPoint presentation with handouts created in Word or even with an Excel spreadsheet. When you create a new slide, you can click on the bottom half of the New Slide button in the Home tab to select from a range of ready-made layouts. There are layouts for presentation titles, menus and content slides. Each theme has a similar range of ready-made layouts, although the designs vary from theme to theme. If you later decide to change the layout of your slide, you can do so by selecting the slide and choosing another layout in the Home tab. Layouts are also fully customizable. You can move placeholders around, change the fonts, colours, and everything else. A PowerPoint presentation consists of slides containing text and graphics. Notes for each slide can be used as a speaking script. Themes define a family of colours, fonts, and graphic effects. PowerPoint includes a number of ready-made slide layouts. Themes and layouts can be customised as required. PowerPoint presentations can use a wide range of media, including pictures, clip art and shapes, smart art and charts, word art, and movie and sound clips. First, let's look at adding pictures. Some layouts already have spaces for pictures. These are indicated with small icons. For these, just click on the icon and choose your image. The image will automatically be resized and formatted to fit within the layout. To place an image on a blank slide that doesn't have an image icon, go to the Insert tab and click Picture. Select an image, and the image appears on the slide. You can then resize the image to fit your design. The round blue handles on the corners of the image are used to resize both the height and width at the same time, so the image doesn't distort. The smallest square handles on the sides will stretch the image in one direction. You can rotate the image with the green handle at the top, and you can move the image around by clicking and dragging in the center of the image. When you have an image selected, a new tab appears in the ribbon, the Picture Tools Format tab. In this tab, you have access to a wide range of image manipulation tools. You can adjust the brightness, contrast and colour values, much as we did with the background picture in the previous chapter. Pictures can also be compressed to reduce file size. You can change a picture while keeping the effects that have been applied. Or you can reset a picture to discard all the changes you have made and start afresh. The Picture Tools Format tab contains a gallery of picture styles. These are combinations of different picture shapes, borders, and other effects. It's possible to adjust all those elements individually using the buttons to the right of the gallery. You can change the shape of the image, apply a border, adjust the size of the border, and change its style. A huge range of effects can be applied. There are a number of presets, or you can create your own by exploring all the variations of shadows, reflections, glows, edge softness, bevel, and 3D rotation settings. You can have a lot of fun experimenting with all these effects, but it can be easy to get carried away. You will often get a much better overall design by keeping things simple. Working with clip art is very similar to using pictures, except for the way you select the image you want to use. When you click on the clip art button, a search window opens. Here you use keywords to search your clip art collection. If you have an internet connection, you can search the enormous collection of clip art at Microsoft Office online. Once you have chosen a piece of clip art, it can be moved, resized and rotated in the same way as pictures. All of the tools in the Picture Tools Format tab can be used on clip art too. The Shapes Gallery contains a number of geometric shapes and symbols. Once you've selected one, click and drag on the slide to place and size the shape at the same time. With the new shape selected, the Drawing Tools Format tab becomes available. Here you can choose from preset shape styles or edit the shape's attributes from the menus. Shapes are affected by your chosen theme. If you change theme, your shape's colour, border and effects can automatically change to suit the new theme. But if you have customised a shape's attributes, these will not be affected by a change of theme. You can place text in a shape, and this can be an effective way to make a caption for your images. Click the text box button in the top left of the Drawing Tools Format tab. Then click on the shape to begin typing. To format the text, select it and move the cursor towards the top of the text box. Or you can select the text and return to the Home tab for a full range of formatting options. Smart Art is a new tool for creating diagrams such as lists and flowcharts. They are organised into areas related to their uses. For example, we have lists, cycles, relationships, and pyramids. Text can be placed into this Smart Art using the text pane or by typing directly in the Smart Art. When you add or delete lines of text, the Smart Art reformats automatically to fit the available space. When you have finished entering text, you can close the text pane. If you need to get it back again, you click this arrow tab. Text formatted as bullet points can be converted directly into Smart Art. Simply right-click anywhere in the text and choose Convert to Smart Art. Alternatively, you can use the Convert to Smart Art button in the paragraph group on the Home tab. Smart Art can be resized, moved and rotated just like a picture. With the Smart Art selected, the Smart Art Tools Design tab is available, letting you change the layout, the colours and effects. The Smart Art Tools Format tab lets you customise individual shapes. Just as with shapes, Smart Art is integrated with your presentation theme. Changing themes in the Design tab can alter the fonts, colours and effects of all the Smart Art in your presentation. Charts and graphs are designed for visualising numerical information. Let's see how they work. When you click Chart under the Insert tab, a window displays a large variety of charts and graphs arranged by type. Selecting a chart will place a chart on your slide and also launch Microsoft Excel if you have it installed. If not, Microsoft Graph will open. In either case, you can enter numerical data in the spreadsheet and your PowerPoint chart will update automatically. Alternatively, you can paste a chart directly from Excel into PowerPoint. PowerPoint has the same chart layout tools that are available in Excel, allowing you to label your chart, format axes and grid lines, and alter the background. Charts can be designed and formatted much like Smart Art, and their colours, fonts and effects are integrated with your presentation theme. Word art is great for making eye-catching titles. Under the Insert tab, click on the Word Art button to view a range of styles consistent with your current theme. Having chosen a style and typed the text, you can move the placeholder around by moving the cursor over the edge of the box, or align it using the tools in the Arrange group of the Drawing Tools Format tab. The same range of tools and effects are available as those used to work with images. And of course, you can also change the font like any other piece of text. The possible variations are virtually endless. The word art text can also be edited, and once again, unless you've chosen to customize the word art, its colors, font, and effects will automatically adjust to a change of theme. PowerPoint presentations can include a wide range of images and shapes, smart art diagrams, charts, and word art. Picture styles are combinations of image shape, border, and a huge variety of effects. Smart art is a new tool for creating diagrams. Charts and graphs are used for visualizing numerical data and are integrated with Microsoft Excel. Word art, smart art, shapes, and charts all reflect the chosen document theme. PowerPoint can play a range of audio and video media, including movies, sound files, and animated clip art. PowerPoint does not have media editing or adjustment controls, so you need to prepare your media clips in another application before importing them. On the Insert tab, there are buttons for movies and sounds. The Movies button lets you insert a movie from your computer or search for an animated clip in the clip art gallery. When you move the cursor over the clips, you get information about the size of the clip. And by clicking the bar on the right, then choosing Preview/Properties, you can preview the clip. To insert a movie, locate the file and click OK. Unlike images, media files are only linked to your presentation, not embedded in it and saved with it. It's generally a good idea to copy your movie file into the same folder as your presentation before you import it, so you don't have problems with links if you change computers. Choose whether you want the movie to start playing automatically when you navigate to that slide, or if you want it to wait until clicked. But you can change this later on the Movie Tools Options tab. With a movie clip on your slide, you can test it by clicking the Slideshow tab and choosing From Current Slide. Click the movie to start it. You can pause and resume the movie by clicking on it. As with other content, there's a set of tools for adjusting movies. You can resize your movie and add a frame in the Picture Tools Format tab. In the Movie Tools Options tab, you can preview the clip, adjust the volume, change whether the clip begins playing automatically or when clicked, and if you want the clip to play across slides. This means the movie will keep playing when you click to the next slide. That can be a useful option if you want to display different titles and diagrams as the movie plays. Adding sound clips is very similar to adding movies. Under the Insert tab, click the Sound button. The top half of the button opens a window to choose a sound file. The bottom half of the button gives you the option to open a sound from the clip organizer, play a track from a CD, or record your own sound if you have a microphone connected. We'll look at recording a narration for your presentation in a later part of this program. The sound file will appear on the slide as a yellow speaker icon in the centre of the slide, but you can position it wherever you want. With the sound icon selected, you can use the Sound Tools Options tab to preview the sound, set if it loops, how it starts, and whether or not the icon is visible. Bear in mind that if the sound is set to play when clicked, you'll need to be able to see it. You can use a sound file as background music for your presentation by placing it near the start of the presentation and setting it to play across slides. The only thing left to add to your presentation is the text. You would have noticed that most of the slide layouts include placeholders with text areas already included. The Insert tab contains a group of additional text tools. The text box button lets you click and drag to make a text area on your slide. You can type text in and format it as you would with the standard word processor tools on the Home tab. You can also paste text in from another program like Microsoft Word. Once you have inserted some text, you can use the tools on the Drawing Format tab to make changes to the text box, including changing its shape, choosing a style from the Style Gallery, and so on. The text box is a shape, just like those we looked at earlier. You can add a header or footer to your presentation, as well as the date and time, and number each slide. These three buttons all open the same window. You can enter a set date and time, or one that automatically updates. You can have the slide number displayed and type in the text for a footnote. These settings can be applied to just this slide, to all slides, or to all except the title slide. Once entered, the date, footer and slide number can be formatted like regular text using the tools in the Home tab. PowerPoint can play movies, sound files and animated clip art. Unlike images, media files are not embedded in your presentation. It's a good idea to save the files in the same folder as your presentation. Sound clips can include sound files on your computer, on a CD, or you can record your own. Text boxes can be formatted like shapes. You can also include a header or footer, the date, and slide numbers. The Slides panel on the left of screen shows your slides in order from top to bottom. You can change the order that slides will be displayed by dragging and dropping them in the Slides panel. The white line shows where the slide will drop when you release the mouse button. You can also change the slide order in the Slide Sorter, which can be accessed from the View tab or from this small icon next to the Zoom slider down at the bottom right of screen. This works fine for presentations that follow a linear path, but there will be times when you'll want to have a choice about which slide will be displayed next during your presentation. You might even want to link to a web page or other external media. To do these things, you use hyperlinks and actions. In this example, we'll make a menu that links to 3 different slides. We'll insert a Smart Art list that has placeholders for small thumbnail pictures. We'll select the 3 photos we're going to link to and type in some captions. Now we'll make the 3 slides that the list will link to. For each page, we'll insert a new slide using the title and content layout. Then use the image icon to choose our photos, change the title and centre it. Once we've made our 3 photo pages, we can navigate back to our menu slide and select the first piece of text. We will make this the link. In the Insert tab, there are 2 options for links. Hyperlinks can link to other slides, to web pages, email addresses, and even other applications or media outside the PowerPoint environment. The Action button also lets us do all these things and also has other capabilities, such as playing a sound to accompany the action. We can set whether the action happens when the link is clicked or when the mouse moves over the link. We'll add a hyperlink to our menu text. In the dialog box, we check that we're linking to a place in this document. Then we scroll down the list to choose Photo 1. Click OK, and the link is now underlined and coloured to indicate it's a hyperlink, just like on a website. We'll repeat the process for the other 2 links. So now we have a menu that links to 3 photo pages. We can test the hyperlinks in the Slideshow tab. Click from beginning to play the whole presentation. Click on each slide to progress to the next slide. When we get to the menu, choose the second link, and the presentation will jump to that slide. Now we're stuck. We can't get back to our menu. Right-clicking the mouse brings up a navigation menu. Let's exit the slideshow and make some more links. Each photo page will need a link back to the menu. We can make a link by creating a shape, then adding a text box and adding a hyperlink to the shape. An alternative is to use the action buttons at the bottom of the Shapes gallery. These are already set up to perform common actions, such as navigating through a presentation. You could even use word art to create the button and place the link on the word art text or the text box. The links back to the menu slide will be the same for all 3 photos. So once we've made the button and linked it, we can copy and paste the button onto the other 2 photo slides. The Animations tab is where you can apply transitions from one slide to the next. You can also animate individual objects on each slide. There are fades, wipes, pushes, and more. You can add a sound to the transition, although think about how the sound could compete with your narration or background music. You have some control over the speed of the transition, and you can set whether the slide changes on a mouse click or after a set period of time, or both. The changes you make to the transition can be seen with the Preview button in the ribbon. You can also animate items within a slide. If you select a shape, an image or a text box, you can use the Animate menu to set it to fade, wipe, or fly in. This relates to how the image will first appear on the slide. If you choose by first level paragraph, bullet points will appear one by one. You can also access a lot more options by choosing Custom Animation, which opens the Custom Animation pane. Start by clicking Add Effect and then choose what type of effect you want. If you click More Effects at the bottom of the main menu, you'll be able to preview the effects before applying them. There are a lot of different types of effects. The best way to see what they do is to experiment with them. If you've animated more than one item within a slide, you can use the Custom Animation pane to choose the order in which they animate, the speed of each animation, the direction of fly-ins, and the trigger, or what starts each animation. The order of animations is also shown on the slide by these non-printing tags. You can animate Smart Art graphics, and you can choose to animate the Smart Art shapes one by one. Animations can really grab your audience's attention. Of course, they can be overused. If everything is whiz-bang, nothing will stand out. But animations can be very useful to control the flow of information in a slide and to emphasize important points. The order of slides can be changed in the Slides panel and in the Slides Sorter view. Hyperlinks and actions can link to slides, web pages, email addresses, and external media. Action buttons contain common actions such as document navigation. You can animate the transition between slides and the content on a slide. The Custom Animation pane has controls for fine-tuning animations. If you have a microphone connected to your computer, you can easily add a narration for your presentation. In the Slideshow tab, click Record Narration. You can set the recording level and change the sound quality before you start recording. When you're ready, click OK. Then first slide to start recording from the beginning of your presentation. As you read through your narration, click each slide to progress to the next. When you're finished, the timings for each slide can be saved for use in your presentation, so you know the narration will fit perfectly. You also have the option to rehearse timings. This follows the same process, but without recording your speech. Rehearsing timings can be useful if you have a limited time to give your presentation, or if you want your presentation to run itself without any user intervention during an exhibition, for example. Let's have another look at the photo menu we made earlier. Even though we built a non-linear menu, the slideshow is still linear. We can see in the Slides panel that we will have to step through each of the photo slides, whether we choose them in the menu or not. A custom slideshow is a way of building non-linear presentations. In the Slideshow tab, click Custom Slideshow, then Custom Shows. In the Custom Shows dialog box, we move the slides we want into the window on the right. We'll move the title slide and the menu slide into the Custom Show. Then we'll skip the 3 photo slides. We'll select all the slides after the photos and move them into the Custom Show. Now we've built a custom show that won't show the photo slides unless we click on the links in the menu. We'll name it Nonlinear Show. Done. Notice that our 3 photo slides haven't disappeared from the Slides panel. Our nonlinear show now appears in the Custom Slide Show menu, and we can preview it by clicking on it. We navigate to the menu Slide, choose the 3rd photo slide, return to the menu. Now we'll click on the background to move forward. PowerPoint skips the other 2 photo slides and moves on to the next slide in the Custom Show. Custom shows are also handy if you want to make a short version of a longer presentation. Simply select the slides you want in the short version, name it, and in future you can choose to play either the short version or the standard version of your presentation. Notes are often used as a presenter's guide or script. You can add notes for each slide in the window at the bottom of the screen, and you can make this area larger by moving the border. You can also add notes in the View tab using the Notes Page button. This shows you one slide with its notes on a single page. The scroll bar lets you view each page of the presentation. When you're finished adding notes and you want to print them, you can choose how they are printed using the Notes Master button. There are fields for a header, a footer, the date, and page number. You can choose which fields will be printed with the placeholders checkboxes. The headers and footers used here are different to those used on the slides. All of the text items can be formatted in the Home tab. You can change the orientation of the page and the orientation of the slide image. You can apply themes to your page and set a background style. But bear in mind, this will use a lot of ink or toner when it's printed. To print your notes, you'll need to select Notes Pages in the Print What menu. In the print preview, it's here, and this is where you'll find it in the print window. Handouts are designed to be given to an audience. They show your slides, but not your notes. If you click on the View tab, then Handout Master, the ribbon changes and you can choose how many slides are on each page, the slide orientation, and the handout orientation. As with the Notes Master, you can select which placeholders are printed on the page and apply themes and background styles. Again, make sure you've selected handouts before you print. When you come to show your presentation, there are some choices as to how it will be displayed. Under the Slideshow tab, click on the Set Up Slideshow button to open the Setup Show dialog. Here you can choose Presented by Speaker, which shows the presentation full screen. Browsed by an individual, which shows the presentation in a window. Or Browsed at a kiosk, which shows the presentation full screen, but prevents the slides being advanced by the user clicking on the background. Action buttons come in handy if you want the user to be able to navigate the presentation. Or if you want your show to run automatically, you can use the Rehearse Timings option. You also have the option of looping the presentation and playing it without the narration or animations. When you save your presentation, it is saved as a PPTX file, or PPT if you save as the older file format. If you are planning on distributing the presentation, you can save it as a PowerPoint show using the Save As function. This creates a presentation that always opens in a slideshow view ready to play. PowerPoint allows you to record a narration and rehearse timings for your show. Custom slideshows are useful for creating non-linear presentations and different versions of presentations. Slide notes and audience handouts can be formatted and printed with a header and footer, page numbers, and the date. There are several choices as to how your presentation will be displayed, including full screen and kiosk mode. The PowerPoint show format always opens in slideshow view. This is useful for distributing a presentation. Now that we've gone over the tools and features in PowerPoint, you can start planning your own PowerPoint presentation. The themes and effects in PowerPoint may be fun to play with, but the most important part of any presentation is the message you are trying to convey. A good presentation will use imagery to support an idea rather than distract the audience. Before you even open PowerPoint, you should think about what is it you are presenting, the message you are conveying, and what your audience will relate to. It's generally more efficient to plan your content first, then build your presentation using one of these supplied themes. And finally, you can customize the theme, graphics, or any other elements that need tweaking. In other words, work from the general down to specifics. This helps to make changes much less of a headache. You don't want to spend hours customizing colours and tweaking an animation, only to find you don't use any of it in the end. Naturally, you'll want to play with the fancy effects that are available in PowerPoint. But once you've got that out of your system, remember two things for creating effective, involving presentations. The age-old maxim: less is more. When developing a presentation, consider the message you are conveying and what your audience will relate to. An efficient workflow starts with the general and ends with the specifics. Begin by planning, then construction, and finally, customizing graphics and effects. It's usually true that less is more. PowerPoint has a new interface and new tools for creating effective, involving presentations. In this program, we've looked at using themes and layouts, adding content to your slides, including images, graphics such as smart art, charts and word art, and audio-visual content such as movies and sounds. We've looked at making hyperlinks and actions, animating transitions between slides, and animating the content on slides to control information flow and add emphasis. We've seen how you can add a narration, create a custom slideshow, and print slide notes and audience handouts. PowerPoint has an enormous range of effects and tools to improve the look of your show and increase audience involvement. But as with any media presentation, in PowerPoint, content is king. The most important part of any presentation is the message you are trying to convey.